Dennis Pang has the hands of an artist. And the only thing he enjoys more than shaping boards is writing them. First, as a young boy in Waikiki. Then as a high schooler, he started chasing the big waves of the North Shore and competing.
That was my deal. The excitement, the adrenaline rush of actually paddling out and surfing in bigger and bigger waves, you know, you just get better and better at it, and to the point where you get pretty proficient, and it's just that driving thing to get better, you know.
He continued to chase the big waves until the day that everything changed. October the 9th, 2014.
And a friend of mine called me and goes, hey, let's go out. And it was kind of a wild day, big day. And I said, okay, yeah, I can go out and catch a couple.
So they met at world-famous Sunset Beach, where Dennis says he only planned on catching just a few waves.
And I've paddled out there many times, you know, thousands of times. And I paddled out at about 100 yards. Whitewater's coming at me, and I'm paddling out. And you push under the whitewater, 6 foot of whitewater coming at you, and you pop up the back end. If you do it right, your timing is just perfect.
But just as he started to duck dive, the backwash from the shore hit him hard from behind.
And so I'm trying to push down, opposing forces pushing me up. I come up, whitewater just smashes my head straight on into my forehead and snaps me back like I had a whiplash. And it was severe. When I was underwater, I go, this is pretty severe. And then I realized I didn't know which way was up. So I saw the light, and I started making motion, and I didn't know if my hands and legs were working. And I got to the surface.
He was about 100 yards offshore and says the same whitewater that caused his injury became his greatest asset, ultimately washing him to shore, where he then crumpled in the sand.
And I just fell over like a dead fish flopping around in the on the beach, and another wave came, pushed me further up. I tried to get up on all fours, fell down again, and go, oh, this is not good.
Luckily for him, another surfer saw him rolling in the sand, came to his rescue, and dialed 911.
He was in pretty rough shape. Neck injuries are very serious, especially, I mean, of course you could be paralyzed from neck injuries. If you have a neck injury in the water and you're paralyzed, of course you can't swim anymore and you could drown from that. So any type of injury like that is very serious.
Amazingly, while he suffered a severe spinal bruise, nothing was broken.
When Dennis was brought in, we did radiographic evaluations of his neck, and the MRI showed that he had some pre-existing disc bulges and arthritis, what we would call disc osteophyte complex, so bone spurs and disc combination that narrowed his spinal canal.
Within days, Dennis started getting his functions back, and after 8 weeks of self-healing, Dr. Chang and his team set out to repair that narrowed canal.
So the surgery is called an anterior cervical discectomy infusion. We make an incision on the front of the neck, go down to the spine that way. It's actually not a very painful surgery because we can get down there without going through a lot of muscle and disturbing a lot of things. So we then go down to the spine, take out the disc. In his case, we took out the disc at C4-5 and C5-6. Where he was narrow, we put some bone grafts in there, and then we put a plate on here that holds it together. And then eventually those levels fuse together in that area of the spine. So we decompress it and then fuse those levels.
The surgery went exactly as planned, and Dennis remained connected to the sport he loves.
Being able to work with my hands on a surfboard, even though I couldn't surf for about 8 months, it was really therapeutic.
And then, just a couple of months later, he says he got the okay to swim before graduating to the stand-up paddleboard. And it wasn't much longer that he finally got the green light to surf again.
And boom, I was out there on my longboard right away. Being back in the water and the sensation of surfing was killer. Was, you know, what I was wanting for 8 months.
As an avid surfer himself, Dr. Chang knew exactly how important it was for Dennis to get back in the water.
Well, I like to surf maybe 3 to 4 days a week, and if I couldn't surf, it would drive me crazy. So, you know, getting him back in the water, I understand the priority of that, and that was my major goal.
And as fate or luck would have it, the two even crossed paths in the water since their last meeting in the OR.
Probably about 6 to 8 months after the surgery, I saw him one day at Laniakea, solid 6-foot day, and I was looking down the line. He came around the section and whacked it pretty hard, so I thought, man, he must be doing pretty well. So yeah, I was excited for him.
And I see him in the water, and he goes, well, I knew it was you, I thought it was you, and we rapping out, and I go, yeah, I've come a long ways, bro. Thanks to you.
So it is an army of people that it takes to get somebody through an injury like this and get a favorable outcome. Someone who comes in and, you know, there's a question of whether or not they're going to be able to do their job or do what, you know, their hobby or what they love doing, and then, you know, taking them to the operating room, fixing their problem, and then having them get back to pretty much, you know, full function. There's not much more rewarding than that.
Surfing to me is like breathing. As a surfer, just to live, you know, I need to surf for everything, for my overall well-being, you know.
So to be back in the water again?
To be back in the water is just, I'm living again, you know, and that's the main thing, thanks to Dr. Chang.